This video looks at how to use ClimaScope's featured maps, part 1. One of the featured maps is the apps for climate demo maps for the World Bank, but any other maps could also be put in this place. There are also featured maps for 2, 3, and 4 degrees C annual climate. This is the point in time that's been normalized across the climate models for when the global average temperature reaches 2, 3, or 4 degrees C above the average of 1961 to 1990. Data is there for all 8 of the climate variables within ClimaScope: minimum, maximum, and average temperature, sea surface temperature, wet day frequency, precipitation, cloud cover, and vapor pressure. In this case, we've chosen to look at a 2 degree C temperature map. We're zooming in now on Colombia, and just as was shown in how to use the interface, all of the featured maps have layers that can be turned on for agriculture, fishing and forestry projects, water, sanitation, and flooding projects for mapping for results of the World Bank, as well as information on Kenya poverty levels. Here we've clicked on a project, a water project outside of Bogota, and if you click on these arrows, what you see is the observed temperature, and then for each of the 18 climate model patterns within ClimaScope, the data is there. So one can rapidly click from observed to what the projected temperature, annual average temperature would be under each of the 18 climate models. This allows one to rapidly look at what the level of uncertainty or differences is between the models. The same thing is true for looking at 3 degree C and 4 degree C maps. Here we've clicked to look at a 4 degree C precipitation map. We're zooming in on India, and in this case we're going to look at water projects. So we've turned on the layer for mapping for results water projects. We click on a project. This gives information from the World Bank on what that project is, and then by clicking on the arrows at the top of the screen, you get the observed annual average monthly precipitation, and by clicking the arrows you rapidly see the results for the 18 climate models. Also in featured maps are more emission scenario explorers, similar to the one that is the home screen. In this case, we're looking at the emission scenario explorer for the Hadley CM3 climate model for precipitation. Again, you can turn on and off the World Bank mapping for results layers. Here we're going to zoom in on Washington, D.C. and look at what would the annual average monthly precipitation change be with a temperature increase of average temperature increase of 4 degrees C for Washington, D.C. So you get the observed, and then for the 6 models that reach 4 degrees C by the end of the century under the RCP 8.5 scenario, you get the data on what the average monthly precipitation would be. In future videos, we'll explore other featured maps.